in a sense. So we can assume that that's going to be the only row, row 0. And the name of that is going to be, since this isn't an actual a field, it's just a name that's been created. You can actually, in this syntax, you can give this a name, but it's not really necessary for what we're doing here. So just basically display the results of count star. So count star being holding the number of records it got when it went through and counted all the pages that match this page. So now we finally have the number of views so far on the site stored in $views. And we can go ahead and echo $views. And with that, that should make up all we really need to make the basically the core tracker script. So I'm going to go ahead and save this out as tracker.php. And even though the script is actually going to be implemented in other scripts in just a minute, it'll actually run on its own. So let me go ahead and load it up just to demonstrate. So I'll go ahead and load up tracker.php. Interesting. 1. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. Let's refresh the page. 2. So it's got to be storing some kind of records. So let's bring the MySQL monitor back up. Do a select star from tracker, and look at that. The name of the script, obviously it's running, it's its own script, tracker.php. The IP, I'm hitting it from localhost, so that's the IP. And the date auto. So there's about 5 seconds in between when I hit the pages.
So if I was to cruise on over here and change this, you said it's tracker?
Tracker.php, yes.
So I'm typing with one hand.
Yeah, he has to type now.
They can't see. And okay, so now it says 3 on me, and look at that with an IP address in there.
So
okay,
so that's the core tracker script. Now let's go ahead and write some other basically pseudo real pages that would utilize this tracking function. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new page, and this is getting a little messy, so I'm going to close out some of the older scripts. Like we don't need to worry about loops, if, the var test. Might leave the guestbook open. So this is going to be more like a normal page. I'm actually going to go ahead and write a little bit of HTML just to simulate if it was an actual page.
So yeah, he's just faking or simulating as one of your web pages on the site.
Head, title. You thought you were done staring at HTML. So page 1. End of title. End of head. Starting body. And then header 1. This is page 1. And page 1. Just throw 2 new lines in there. Let's see. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to make 3 copies of this page, and they're all going to have links to one another. So we can just click on these links and jump through these 3 pages for a test. So I'm going to go ahead and write out those links here real quick. So href equals page1.php, and we'll actually make that say page 1. End of that, a tag. Start a new line. And easier than that. Copy, paste, paste. So page 1.php, page 2.php, yeah, page 3. So page 3. So now I have 3 links to walk between these pages. And let's see. One more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to throw an extra new line in here. Now, the whole point of this little dummy page in a sense, is to easily add tracking functionality to it. Let me see. Let me end the page off first. Let's see, end body and HTML. So this would display as a page. Now, since we wrote that little tracker script just a minute ago, now what do we have to do to add tracking functionality to this page? Very simple. As a matter of fact, it can be done on one line. Open a PHP tag. Instead of going to a new line, I'm just going to write all this out on one line, and I'm going to use and include. And I'm going to include that tracker script, tracker being in quotes because that's the form it takes in. So include tracker.php, end it off. Let me see, wait. There we go. Spell include correctly. So include the tracker script, And that'll be it for this first page. So, all that code, this is another example of efficient programming. So all this code that was required to go in there, check or increment the number of pages, get some information, save it to a database, all that's done in one script. And that way, we can reuse that information by just adding a single line of PHP code. And again, using include here instead of require, the effect will be the same. You basically have this page brought in and all its code executed.
Or we could have just copy and pasted.
Yes.
But this is, as you said,
yeah,
far more efficient.
it's kind of the equivalent of going in here, grabbing this chunk of code, and pasting it where this include line is.
Exactly.
And again, using include instead of require, because if this fails to include, we don't want to totally kill the script out. We just want to let it keep going, which is what it will do.
Right.
So with that, I'll go ahead and save this out to say page1.php, same as in these links. So we got to make page 1, page 2, and page 3. So there's page 1. I'll just change a few of these numbers. And let's see. Save this as page 2. And oh, I wrote 3 there. Hang on. Save as page 3. And then page 2. So just a couple of test pages. And now, go ahead and load one of those up and see what it looks like. So page1.php. This is page 1. Warning, failed to include tracker. This is what I was talking about. It's a warning, not an error, because it was including it, not requiring it. So fail. I probably missed the name. TRA include tracker.php. There is no just tracker file. It has to be you have to actually specify the full file name. Makes sense.
Okay, stay very still, Logan. Just stay still. Sorry.
Ow. Okay.
Logan had a very interesting
awesome spider
on him.
Cool.
And
that would suck if it went on my neck. Anyway, thanks. Alright. Anyway, correcting the error, tracker, now tracker.php, refresh this page. And of course, okay, I was on page 2. Great, now I have to go in there and alter the page 1 and 3. So bear with me for just 1 second as I open up page 1 and 3. So okay, here's our 3 scripts. Scripts. Page 1, tracker.php. Excuse the little typo there.
Make sure to do saves.
And .php, so you save all.
There you go.
And refresh. 1. Okay, that number doesn't mean a whole lot. We can do, let's go.
Well, that's the beauty of having it all in just one little file now.
Right, let's go back to tracker. Echo views. How about we actually say what this is. Echo, this page has been
there you go.
viewed dot $view. Actually, since it's we're inside double quotes, I won't even concatenate it. I'll just say it's been viewed $views times, like such. Save that puppy out, and through changing one script, now we just refresh this. This page has been viewed 2 times because I just refreshed it. Page 2. This is page 2. Viewed 1 times. Page 3. Viewed 1 times again. This is the first time. Let's go back to page 2. Second time we've seen that. Third time we've seen this page. And so on as we click through all these pages. Now, so what does this record actually look like in the database? Let's run that select again. And there we have a whole lot more records, but this way it's tracking the individual pages I was on, which is really cool because I've got, when you do an include, I'm including this tracker file all the time, and way back in tracker we got the PHP self, and that's set by even though it's including the tracker.php file, again, it's basically the equivalent of taking all this code and putting it inside of, say, page1.php or page 2. So that $_ PHP self, or server, the element PHP self, is going to hold whatever page did the include. So this makes a very efficient method so you can track all the pages you create on your server, and all you have to have is one actual tracker file. So that's as far as what the user would see, that's a working system now.
So quickly, I guess we could, even though we haven't done the results yet, we could quickly show them how fast we could bring the guest book into the whole thing.
Okay, if we want to start tracking the guest book real quick.
Yeah.
We've got these page 1 through 3. Let's go ahead and make the guest book track as well.
I mean, this just really goes to show how efficient this is.
All right, we want to add stat tracking to the guest book. Copy. Guest book. Let's say. Okay. There is one, let's see, let's go ahead and just do that first. Just go ahead and include that tracker.php real quick. Save the guest book and